They gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up and they gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
I'm Jennifer Santinello, and this is Leila. She's my firstborn child. She's the child that made me a mother. If my girl is out there somewhere, I would like for these stories to reach her. She seems to have vanished, and we have been investigating her disappearance for almost 3 months now. We need more eyes on her story. We need to shine a light and get her story out of just this small town that it's in. I am here to implore you to share and talk about our girl. If my girl is no longer with us, I would like for those who know what happened to her to feel the pressure.
What inspired you to this particular case?
I'm always interested in stuff like this. Obviously, talking to you about the Summerwell stuff like that, I'm not always trying to be on the right side and help people that are hurting. But her being local, and like I told her, my son's 25, and Leila ain't too much younger, so
Yeah,
it could
so
be anybody from Kingsport. It's the
it
way I
could.
look at it, you know.
Yeah,
And more people should be here helping her, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Many of us came from all over the country to help Jennifer Santinello look for her daughter. Can you help? If you know something, say something.
If I have to tell somebody rules, it's because they're still a kid. They don't get it. If you get the value, I don't have to tell you rules. And I don't like fucking rules. That's like one of the ways I know I'm dealing with the wrong people, because I gotta give them fucking rules. I've got 2 kids. That's where I'll employ rules. And even them, I really don't. It's more choices. Dad, can I stay up to 11 o'clock? You're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. How do you feel about that? I'll do it. Okay, tell you what. You can stay up to 11, but if you're not up at 6 with me, not happening again. Now they have a choice. Now they're learning. I prefer choices and values over rules. Part of the problem with our society right now is we're telling people what to believe and we're telling people what they should do instead of teaching them values, which is causing all sorts of pain in our society. Teach people how to think, not what to think. That's values, not rules.
Welcome Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
So apparently, if you treat people like they treat you, they get upset. Shocker.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Hello, my beautiful people of YouTube. It's nice to see you this Saturday morning. I didn't want to go live early. I didn't. I was up. I didn't want to do it. I lounged around this morning. I enjoyed my wonderful, wonderful morning of just peace on a Saturday morning. Who knew? And that's not all I did. It's not all I did either. Okay, guys. You might want to turn your volume down just a little bit. I'm giving you guys your warning right now. Is that too loud or not loud enough? I got more buttons to push. Who knew? You guys better watch out. Betty's got the buttons, and I know how to use them. Marshmallow, it's nice to see you. It's me, Jen. I know. I had to dive in with the jellyfish too today. I got too many buttons to push. What can I say? Unicorn, it's nice to see you. Angie, good morning. We've got Sweet Misery in the house. It's nice to see you, my love. Big Mac Mike is all up in it to win it today. He is the defense attorney for the Houcks. I am the prosecution for the victims. And we got Sweet Misery with the gavel coming down on Big Mac Mike's head. Okay, so we haven't gotten there yet. All right. I'm rushing it. I get it. Nice to see you, Pebbles. Good. It's still morning, so I'm going to tell you all good morning. It's nice to see you, B. Betty. Gigi for life, good morning. And I think that's it. We've got it. We went through, We'll be back on the other channel. Very upset. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into some stuff because, we're going to probably have some drama on this channel. So if you're not, because I'm just going to start correcting a lot of facts that have been haven't been correct. Okay. And I think the first one, without further ado, is the idiots. And go ahead and clip it. I hope maybe we should wait for you guys to text your haters and tell them to come on into the chat. Let's start getting clipping, right? Let's get the clip channels ready because of some idiot on YouTube that thinks she knows what the hell she's talking about. And if this doesn't show you this quack doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, this is a document. And it's called a motion to dismiss first amended complaints. It's not amendments, idiots. If you don't even know this, how can anybody even listen to you about what is contained in this? That is the stupid thing I have ever heard in my ever-loving life, that this is supposed to be First Amendment complaint. You literally don't know your ass from your elbow. You literally have no clue about the law. You don't even know what these documents are, even though just the week before you were reading, what is this? Oh, let me take this off. Hold on, idiot. Let me go ahead and take this off because you know so much that you have been advising these people, giving them legal advice when you are not an attorney to be providing legal advice, getting them in a host of hot water, and not having a damn clue what the fuck you're talking about. Excuse my language, pastors. I will pray. This is why it's called motion to dismiss first amended counterclaims. Idiots. And it's so funny that these people are in the chat and just absolutely think that everything they're saying is true, accurate, and correct. Remember, these are the same people that said I was going to be laughed out of the courtroom the first time I went in, right? It didn't seem like the judge has been laughing. It doesn't seem like opposing counsel is laughing. And I definitely can tell you, I'm not laughing. So maybe instead of you trying the smear campaigns, maybe you need to look into the allegations contained in the pleadings in which I am filing. Because at the end of the day, these channels that clearly don't know the difference between an amended complaint and an amendment, I really don't know how to help you. All I can say is you're an idiot. You have no clue what you're talking about. You have been advising all these people lies, and you continue to peddle them even to this day, and we know which other accounts are yours now because you all had the same drumbeat about amendment. And you try to say you have access to attorneys to decipher this stuff. And your attorney friends didn't say, you really kind of fucked up there, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. I think it's kind of, let's see, what button do I want to push for this one? I know there's a good one here. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Biohazard, right? Biohazard. Let me find it. I got one in here. I just know it. I know I've got one in here. Here's a loaded gun. Let's see what other ones I want to push. There it is. They're coming for you. Probably need to turn that down. I blew your ears out. So that's the first thing. These idiots don't know what they're talking. They haven't known what they're talking. I've been sitting over here silent, laughing at them this entire time as I've watched many of them try to explain this and don't understand the difference between particularity and specificity. And I heard them say that. And I heard them even say, oh, dude, go back and look at her March videos and talk to me about the hypocrisy on this last video. He filed the same document. I filed the same document. He removed account. I removed account. It really is just that simple, but you wouldn't know it because you got idiots explaining this shit to you. Just thought I'd let you kind of know. You're being led by an idiot. Sorry. But now that we clarified, Bullhorn Betty didn't make a freaking mistake. And I obviously still ain't been laughed out of a courtroom after several court hearings. I'm pretty sure I got this. Oh yeah, I got this. So don't you worry your pretty little heads. I loved how you've been taking those victory dances and victory laps all around the course, and you're like, oh, look what she just said. I can promise you everything I have said online, I plan to use in my hearing and in my court proceedings. So if you think you caught Bullhorn Betty, oh my God, did you hear she's blaming this person? Yes, I am blaming that person. And I'm blaming that person. And I'm blaming this person. Doesn't stop who the instigator of all of that is. So again, sit back. I got this. I promise you, I got this. So everybody just calm the F down. That's all I'm saying.
Crystal Rogers is a mother of 5 beautiful kids that went missing on the July 4th weekend in 2015. Her boyfriend, Brooks Houck, came under heavy scrutiny about her disappearance back in 2015, but for whatever reason, the case went cold. Well, this particular case just heated up most recently in September with the very first arrest of a gentleman by the name of Joseph Lawson. This is an employee of Brooks Houck. Brooks Houck was later arrested after Joseph Lawson, and the case kind of died out. There was some major shocks in the case when the state prosecutor, Brooks Houck's bail hearing, tells the judge that his brother, Nick, might have been the one that shot Crystal's father, Tommy Ballard. If you're unfamiliar with this case, Crystal is a beautiful young lady that disappeared in 2015, and her father went out looking for her and searching and was probably finding evidence about what happened to his daughter. Well, during a hunting, what many thought was a hunting accident on Tommy Ballard's property, he was shot to death. And apparently during this bail hearing for Brooks Houck, it was alleged that his brother, Nick, may have killed Crystal's father.
Today in court, prosecutors said they believe they have the gun used to kill Tommy Ballard now, connecting the investigation with the death of his daughter, Crystal Rogers.
Waiting for testing to come back on the firearm we believe was used to murder Tommy Ballard, a firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle.
This case has a lot of twists and turns, and that's not it. In 2013, an officer was ambushed. His name is Jason Ellis. And people are starting to feel that this Jason Ellis is connected to this particular case with Crystal Rogers and Brooks Houck. So now we have 3 people arrested in connection with the death of Crystal Rogers, although her body has not yet been found.
A third person is indicted in connection to the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. Steven Lawson was just indicted on conspiracy to commit murder. Joseph Lawson was also indicted earlier this year on conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence charges. Then Brooks Houck was indicted on murder. Rogers went missing in 2015, but her body has never been found.
Joseph was first arrested in the case earlier this year. Right now, Steve Lawson is in jail in Harrison County, Indiana. He will be extradited back to Nelson County for his arraignment later this month.
Pieces falling into place 8 years after the disappearance of Crystal Rogers, the mother of 5 from Bardstown, last seen alive 4th of July weekend 2015. Now, 3 men have been linked to her death, believed to have happened that very same weekend. Joseph Lawson was the first arrest. Brooks Houck was second. Now Steve Lawson marks the third, a name not new to the investigation. In fact, it was first mentioned just months after Rogers was reported missing inside the Nelson County Sheriff's interrogation room.
Police arresting Steve Lawson today. The Nelson County grand jury indicting Lawson on 2 charges, conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
Adding to the whirlwind few months it's been in the unsolved Crystal Rogers case.
But everyone is excited. This has been a long time coming.
Police say they can now tie a third person to her 2015 disappearance, charging this man, Steven Lawson, with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
Like everybody, we just want justice for the Ballards and for people to pay for the crimes that they did.
Okay, so there you guys have it. That's going to be going into our a segment today. So there is some questions here, and I'm going to go ahead and clear this up for everybody that's listening, so you guys can go ahead and click this. Let me just explain something here. Kiera is under criminal investigation, okay, into the disappearance of Leila Santinello. She's not cooperating with law enforcement. And so I put videos out to show her lack of cooperation with law enforcement and the fact that a PI under SF Investigates is intentionally interfering and thwarting an ongoing investigation that the Kingsport Police Department is running. So when I started to expose this, Kiera, again, the suspect in an ongoing criminal investigation into a missing girl named Leila Santinello, she chose to attack me and try to bring down my channel. Now, mind you, SF Investigates is associated with Queen Bee and that whole network of people, including Burnt Toast, which again are people that I'm alleging in a complaint that is doing a lot of terrible things to me and my channel. So I have a question. Instead of asking me why I'm pissed off at this little girl for engaging in these kinds of tactics, maybe you need to ask, why is she trying to silence me? And why she feels when she refuses to even talk to law enforcement, why she feels engaging in these types of tactics is good for her. So maybe instead of listening to what these people are trying to make you believe, you look at the facts of the case and you will finally see that this is a silence campaign for me to keep my mouth shut about that little girl not cooperating with law enforcement and her weird behavior after that. And the fact that I find it quite odd that George, Brittany, and SF Investigates are actually protecting her from cooperating with law enforcement. Now, these are people that have wish lists for Nova Grace with Hollister gift cards on it and diapers that are for boys on their wish list. Now, mind you, all these things are going to their residence. So I have some questions here. And while I'm having these major questions into a case that I am heavily involved in, I am being silenced and attacked. And my main channel was jeopardized of being lost because of these animals. So if you really want to know the truth, like I said, I'm done with all this BS. I don't have a problem telling the truth over here. You guys need to start asking some major questions from the people that are deceiving you and conning you out of hundreds and hundreds of dollars before Christmas. That would be my suggestion to you. So before you come over here starting crap with me, you need to go over and start asking why they're wanting you to start crap with me. So yeah, I'm highly upset. Did I send those emails? I sure did. And that little girl does not want to tango with me. And I can do anything I want as long as it's above law. Those are not harassing emails. Those are above board, and I can defend them in a court of law any day of the week. Again, more lies being peddled by other creators saying, hey, she's being harassing. She can get harassment charges. No, I can't. Again, no, I can't. Because I do everything above board. I do everything lawfully. I do everything legally, even when I engage in my protesting practices. Everything I do is lawful, and why I'm not Turtle Boy and have never been thrown in jail for the work I've done. So let's make sure that we are very correct on the facts around here, because the peddling of misinformation, especially about me, it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. Now that we're over that, if you have a problem with how I handled myself and you don't like it, that's your problem to have. I did the action. I'm responsible for myself. You're responsible for yourself. So if you're going to engage in nastiness in my chat, you can go ahead and exit, be an adult and exit. This is a don't be a dick chat. So if you don't like my response, you don't have to like it. It's mine to have. It's very simple. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my conduct, but I can promise you the stuff that I have been through for the last 2 years, I'm really not liking, and I'm kind of over it. This last year, since Queen Bee and all of her shenanigans have gotten involved in this and tried to take my channel, let's not forget. Take my channel at all costs. Let's not forget. Still on that campaign with her friends. And now you see the result of it, and I'm over it. So if you guys want the truth, I'll give you guys the truth serum. Everything that they're telling you, there's a narrative and a reason why. And you guys can be their pawns and their little bitches all you want. But I'm telling you, you need to open your eyes, and at some point, you're going to have to. That's all I'm saying. So God bless you. It's Christmas time. I'm going to have to eat probably 2 weeks of income because of this. So if you guys would like to support the Bullhorn Betty channel, right there is how you can do that. And you know what? You can tell these haters to F you for what they did to me. That's what you can do. $1 will do. $1 will do. And blow it up, if you so choose. Because I'm getting sick and tired of this until we show them. I mean, we built this channel. They thought they were going to take the winds out of my sail. They were going to knock me off YouTube, and I wouldn't be able to talk to you or communicate with you for 2 weeks to 90 days. That's what they tried to do. That's how much they want to silence me. But they won't tell you that shenanigans. They won't tell you that, will they? They won't tell you what they did to my house either. But I'm going to save that for court. I'm going to save that for court. And the people that know what I'm talking about. But I'll save that for court. So let me tell you, you guys need to start coming correct, or have your people come correct with you, because I'm going to tell you, they lying to you a lot. Lying to you lots. Just saying. Oh, God. I got buttons to push. Mama Bullhorn, you can call now. I got a great button for you. Mom is going to whip my Heidi. Is it too loud for you guys, or is it okay? I want to make sure my volumes, I don't want to be blowing you guys out of the water, but it's my first time using a different device. I mean, I've still got it's plugged into the device, but now I've opened myself to like a lot of these things. Oh, this is what I think of these hate channels. They're so slow. They're so slow. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I like this one. All right. So now that we're done. Okay. So let's get into the Houck case, because in the Crystal Rogers case, because this is really what we're here to kind of digest and dissect, if you will. We're going to be dissecting this case. So back in 2015, she went missing on the July 4th weekend. Everything I've read, they've never found her, so they've never really determined her cause of death or the date of death. I mean, it is a theory, on what the date of death is, but there's no real. I honestly believe she died on the 3rd. I believe after she left the house and went to that farm, that was it for her. Whatever they argued about, that was it. So I don't know this connection about Jason Ellis. Jason Ellis is a police officer that was ambushed in 2013. If we remember, what does a police officer have to do with it? I really don't know. But there was, Houck's brother, Brooke's brother, Nick, was a police officer there and got fired from his job over this case. So I really don't know what's going on there. Was there some major underhanded corruption and it lost Jason Ellis his life, or if there's some other motive or, whatever, I don't know. I never really, outside of the connection that Jason Ellis has to this case, I've never really independently checked his case. So if somebody in here has, has good information on the Jason Ellis case and some details, put some sirens in there so we can ask some questions, dialogue a little bit about some of the facts in that particular case. I only specifically know that it is somehow connected to this case with Crystal Rogers. And so I'm trying to theorize how this would have the connection. And the only thing I can theorize is that there was something corrupt. Jason Ellis must have knew too much about it, was off. Maybe it was off from one of the Houcks, maybe it was for another we don't know. We don't know. Obviously, he felt really comfortable with the Lawsons, both the son and the father, to ask them to do something. So could this have happened back in 2012? Is that the trust that that network of people had because they've done work for him in the past and they never got caught? It's possible. I don't know. There's a lot of what ifs. This is all speculation right now. Okay. These are none of the theories right here. All we know is that Jason Ellis died in 2013 after being ambushed. And somehow police connect it somehow to this case. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it just seems to be. Now, Houck, on the other hand, he has now 2 years later, it seems like, they had Houck and Crystal. So Brooks and Crystal had a kid together. And so they're living together, and she's obviously a mom of 5. So she's got 4 other kids, from my understanding, from a different father or a couple different fathers. I did not look into that or highly invest into the children's past. I believe one of the fathers or something has the children. I don't know. I just heard these things. I did not look at it for the stuff I'm doing. Those minor details mean nothing to me in the grand scheme of this case. So I didn't look into them. And either way, we know that his son and her were there. So there was a lot of contention in the relationship, and we heard that she was getting ready to leave him. Did this play into it? Did he threaten her that he was going to take her to the cleaners, or he was going to take his son, or he was going to, offer, whatever that may be if she left? And maybe she used this 2013 case as, her insurance policy. If you don't let me leave with my son, I'm going to sing like a whistle. We don't know. I mean, again, speculative. She may not even have done that. She may have lost her life simply because she wanted to leave him, and he didn't want her taking his son. And Mommy Dearest was like, from what I hear, Mommy Dearest is very, 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 very much attached to that little boy. And she looks evil as hell. I'm just saying, she looks evil as hell. Let me look in here and see what kind of messages we've got in here so far. Oh, no police have labeled her a suspect. I'm Lola Flo. I'm not sure. Were you talking about the mother? Nobody's labeled her as, oh, you're probably talking about, I'm sorry. No, when you have officers, you tell me the last time you had a friend missing and an officer was knocking on your door. If you want to sit there and play word salad with me, you can play word salad with me all day long about Kiera. Okay. She has officers knocking at her door, and she was the last person, as you heard Detective Cleary say, you lied to me. You were the last person that saw her. Now, I'm sorry if you don't want to believe the detective's investigative techniques and abilities. I will. And that officer had some damaging evidence against Kiera, whether you want to believe it or not. She is a suspect in this case. And again, you don't want to believe it. That is on you. But you're not going to tell me that she's not, especially being the last person to see her and the failure to cooperate with law enforcement. Sorry, that stinks to high heaven, little girl. Stinks to high heaven. And you can be upset with me for being a little brash and abrasive. Doesn't bother me not one bit, but you need to look at the facts, and the facts lead me to the determination, as well as everybody else, that she truly is genuinely, in fact, a suspect. Now, I'm sorry, you probably need somebody to tell you that, so I'm telling you that. Since you can't use, brash Betty. Jen has been called a suspect, though. No. Jen has not been called a suspect. No, Brittany and somebody else on that side has alleged that she's a suspect. She has never been a suspect, nor was she anywhere around. So you guys are so deluded with misinformation. It's sickening. And let me guess, it's always the channels that have the bad information, because they're the ones peddling the people that just want to make money, profit off death, right? I thought I was accused of that, right? Can you explain to me why Brittany has boy pull-ups on Nova Grace's wish list? Can you tell me why she has Hollister gift cards on Nova Grace's wish list? How is she planning on getting those gifts to Nova Grace when her and George haven't even been in Tennessee for 18 years prior to that search. 18 years. Never even stepped foot in Tennessee. But all of a sudden, they want to get gifts for Nova Grace all the way in New Jersey. But don't worry. I'm sure they'll get them over to Jen Santinello. Lickety split. I mean, they could have just put her address on it so it was sent directly to her. But, I mean, call me stupid. Whatever. I didn't know that video that they took down was showing the detective at her front door and her telling him she's not going to cooperate with him because she's already talked to Steve at SF Investigates. SF Investigates was specifically told not to talk to her. He was specifically told not to talk to her from Lieutenant Taylor as well as Detective Cleary. And he chose to do it anyways. And then when I exposed it, when it came after my channel. That's what happened. So let's get the truth out there, shall we? Let's get the truth out there, shall we? Well, you know, my main channel is down. I think the people that are egging this stuff on needs to know the truth so they make sure that they're fully informed with the nonsense and the garbage that they're supporting. And when you got a girl that's a prime suspect in a disappearance of a girl trying to silence me for exposing that she's not cooperating with law enforcement, and then she tries to take my channel. Meanwhile, the people behind her helping her are associated heavily with a woman that I'm suing. I just find that all pretty convenient and coincidental. And it's always the channels that always have the criminals back. It is always the channels that have the criminals back. She is being investigated. There was a detective at her front door wanting to question her, and she refused to cooperate. Yes, I do. I surely do. And as you can probably imagine, being in court, I can't produce that, right? It has to go through court. So they're going to be lying to you because they know that I can't produce some stuff because obviously I have my interest to protect. That's why they're not showing you anything that they have against me, and they're trying to use you guys to make me show my hand. And I'm not going to do it. So there is that. I have a right to defend myself in court. And if you think I said anything that I do not have some scintilla of evidence to prove, you have lost your ever-loving mind. Okay? I mean, think about it. Those are some bold statements, don't you think? People need to wake up. People need to wake up. You guys have been used and abused. I hope you guys are hearing this as he's coming out, as people are starting to wake up. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are digging in to find out what really happened. And I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate anybody that's wanting to find out the truth and actually do their own research. I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be apologetic. I think once you realize the truth and realize how deep the deception is about me, I think you'll feel very violated by somebody you trusted to tell you the truth. That's what I truly think. If you just did the scintilla of your own research instead of the manipulated, distorted stuff that they put out, I think you'll find the truth. I think the truth lies in all of this. And I hope you guys keep working at it. And, you know, I'll take the ones that, like I said, I've got no hard feelings. I know you guys were screwed over. I know you guys were lied to. And I know that it came from one specific camp. Trust me. You know, I didn't get this lawsuit wrong, as you can see. Okay, so just, you guys need to open your eyes. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So what we're going to do today is we've got two different interviews here. But before we get into the interview with Brooks Houck, one of the interviews that we did not see early on, we did the 2-hour interview, you know, with Brooks. And it was, you know, he tried to imply he was helpful and blah, 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 right? We never saw his brother, Nick Houck's interview. And I kind of believe that they had him separated. And I'm starting to see a picture picture because this is like July 15th, and that's when Brooks was interviewed as well. Let me make sure. No, Brooks was interviewed. I don't know when this was. It's not saying the date of when this actual interview was, but it seems like it was right around. Is there any dates on here? It seems like it was right around the same time, but his brother ends up calling him in this interview, but we never saw his brother's interview or what his brother said. So I want to just take a few moments. I know we got a few extra people in the chat, so I'm going to play my video that I prepared earlier today one more time, and then we're going to get into Nick Houck's interview. I'm wondering if I should do, I actually want to do a couple snippets of Brooke Houck's interview because he's talking about this Steve Lawson. You know, he's reaching out and getting Steve Lawson on the phone, trying to ask him what he was saying. And by doing that, he kind of jammed himself up because he just told law enforcement that she was with him, that Crystal was with him. And whenever he was in this interrogation, he was like, well, when he called me, I had to get off the phone and call Crystal and then call him back or something to that effect. And it just caused a problem because he had just got done telling law enforcement that she was with him, that she was in the truck with him or in the vehicle that he was in. It's just really weird. I still don't understand how it took them so long to actually solve this case. It seems like everybody knew it was him from the beginning. So what took so long is my biggest question. I'm behind. I had to pause, but my daughter always wants attention. That's okay. I'm being perfectly candid, one human to another. If you care about her, please get her. First of all, you are not a psychologist. So what are you talking about? It seems like you're being very slanderous in my chat, Buster Boo. So if, again, you have no right to tell anybody what they have, what they don't have, what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. The only person you're in control of when you're in my chat is yourself, okay? And the only rule here in this chat is don't be a dick. You don't get to control people. You don't get to tell people what to do or how to do it. You don't have to like us. If you don't like us, leave. But what you don't get to do is talk to people and be insulting because you don't need to be here and be a dick. So I hope that you could start coming in here and being an adult, but if you can't, we will block you. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have to block you when you're a freaking adult. You should just fucking leave. It's like so simple, you know? Like seriously, you are childish. You know nothing about me. How can you make that statement? Because I've been pushed over the edge for the last year and then somebody took my channel down? And I have a problem and should go get mental health. I guarantee, why don't you give me, see, this is what I have a problem with, is that you hide behind these names and these accounts and nobody knows who you are. Everybody knows who I am because of people like you. And so if you had to even walk, I would say you seem like a pussy. So I would say that if you walked my shoes for 1 week, you would have already taken your channel down and you would have ran for the woods. You do not have the backbone like me, and you definitely don't have the brain power I do. So I'm sorry for you to tell me that I should seek some help. I'm a very well-balanced person that doesn't need any drugs whatsoever to get through my daily life. And I know that's a shocker for you, but that should tell you something. Okay? So God bless you. Good day. Go find somebody else to upset during the holidays, right? Because you can't even control yourself to be a decent human being during the Christmas holiday. And that's what the saddest part about you people are. That's what the absolute saddest. You don't care who you hurt at all costs. You don't care. You don't care about the holidays. You don't care about anybody else. All you care about is hurting people and bullying people. And I really do feel sorry for you. I do. And so are a lot of people. So are a lot of people. They're starting to see what you guys are doing to me and what you guys have been doing to me for quite some time. And I think people have had it. And I think you're going to start realizing more and more people are going to stand up against it. Because what you guys have engaged in is bullying, online bullying, cyber stalking, cyber harassment, all which are criminal charges, right? You guys are lucky because of a stupid loophole in investigative bodies. That's it. Because if there wasn't this loophole, every last one of you guys would be facing charges right now. Every last one of you for what you did to me. And you guys can sit there and justify it and whatever. But at the end of the day, this is wrong. And you know how you know it's wrong? Because you feel crummy when you do it. That's how you know it's wrong. Because if you did it with your face and in public and you'd feel embarrassed and shamed, that's how you know you're doing wrong. Because you have to hide to do it. So you all know you're doing wrong and you continue to do it. That's called integrity. Who are you when nobody's looking? Well, some of you guys are have some issues of your own to deal with now, don't you? Just saying. All right, getting back to the case. I had my philosophy with Betty. I still have the original. I didn't get rid of my original buttons. I just got more. Oh, what happened to my buttons? Why did they change? Oh, I got different buttons. Oh, look at this. Oh no, I even got other buttons. Here's a party horn. Look at that. Look at that. I like it. Is anybody home? I don't think anybody's home. Okay, I'm done. I'm done playing. All right, let's get on with Nick Houck's interview. Let me get it up. Here we go.
1979.
X on this.
You reside there at 99.
Hold on.
Team on the road, that's about it, you know. Okay. He's so busy.
Let me see if there's a different one. We may have to go back to
Did y'all go to family functions together?
we might not be able to do it. I've got to find a better interview. This one's horrible. You can't even hear it. It's and I've got all of my volumes up, but that's okay. We'll go to Houck. And I'll be in chat. Let me see if there's any other questions before I get it over here. Let's see. That's good. Me and okay, I think the Ellis case will be solved when this all goes to court. Yes, Izzy girl, I kind of believe that too, because listen, it seems like it's connected here. So we have to think that obviously a Houck, most likely, if his brother is capable of killing Tommy Ballard, the idea of him, you know, maybe this other cop, this Jason Ellis, was having an affair with Nick's girlfriend, wife, or whatever. Is Nick married? I have to think he's married. Is he married? Is he married? Does anybody know if Nick's married? Corrupt police department where Nick was involved. Yeah, I got that. I got that. You know, we deal with corruption all the time. It's really hard because in politics there's so much money and there's so many scratching of the backs, you know, to keep your power and to keep business going. That it's hard not to engage in corruption, and you really need good people. There was 2 other murders after Crystal was murdered. The Netherlands mother and daughter. So 5 unsolved murders in Bardstown. That's odd because Bardstown is I mean, it's not really a heavily populated community. Let me see what I remember looking at this once before, but I can't remember. Bardstown population. Yeah, it's only saying like 13,000 from the 2021 census. So if it's only got 13,000, that's a lot of people missing. It's a lot of, unsolved homicides for that little community. Netherlands case. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you. It's me, Jen. Have you subbed to BHB? Guys, if you are just new to this channel, please sub up. This is the new channel. This is Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories or Betty Crime Stories. I don't know what this is, but it is whatever it is. So just sign up. This channel is not going to be a crime channel. This channel is going to be something totally different once we get back on our main channel. So we'll get that all rolled out at another time. So just go ahead and sub up if you haven't already. We're filling this one up. We've got our 4,000 hours. We're just waiting for it to click over because it takes 48 hours to click over. And once we get our 4,000 hours, I think they dropped down to 3,000 hours for some reason. I don't know. I looked at the thing. But anyways, once we get those logged in, I will be monetizing this account. And hopefully by that time, we'll be back over to our main account, depending on how much like at this point, I'm just waiting for Kiara to go and get arrested or go to jail or have to go to interrogation or something like that. Then I'll file my final counter notice. Some strategy here, just strategy, right? So stupid. But she's got times to play games with me, but she doesn't have time to go down and talk to the law enforcement, the detective on Leila Santinella's case. Congratulations for being a fucking idiot. And at the end of the day, if I really wanted to cause problems, I absolutely could, and I could do it lawfully. And there's not a damn thing law enforcement can do about it because I act and engage in a lawful practice wherever I go. So just because I say, hey, I'm going to come out of your house with a bullhorn, guess what? That's not a threat, especially if I show up. Seems like it might be a little bit of a promise, if you ask me. She's lucky because I don't step in investigations like Steve with SF investigates. I don't when a detective and a lieutenant tell me not to interfere or not to go to this specific person and tells me that everybody is to stay away from this particular person. And you got a pompous, probably small, because he acts the way he acts. So he's obviously got a small man syndrome issue. So I don't know how high he is, but if he's a little higher, it's got to be someplace else. I'm just saying. Sue me, babe. Sue me. My opinion only. Don't you love that word? Don't you love that word? All right. So Brooks Houck, okay, you got Crystal Rogers. She's been disappeared for quite some time. We have several different locations, even going into Nelson County to do a few of the searches. I heard from some of the research I was doing that they were digging. Okay, I'm not talking about a couple feet. I'm talking they were digging massive craters in the ground trying to find evidence. I don't know what that means. It sounds like somebody might be talking and saying that heavy equipment was used to hide evidence. I mean, it seems like it was a given, right? But it just seems a little odd to me because from what I heard, I was thinking, maybe a few feet. Like you don't want to dig. I mean, think about it. Even digging a 20-foot by 11-foot little, area 2 feet down for a human being is going to take you quite some time to do, right? You can do that with a backhoe very, 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 very quickly. Well, you got to be careful with the backhoe because it's a very strong tool. It can break things. It can destroy things. And when you're like using the claw, it can definitely rip, tear, and just shred things to pieces. So you've got to be very careful. And I heard that they went down, I don't know how many feet, but from what I hear, it was a significant, it wasn't 3, 4, 5 feet. It was a significant amount of feet down in there. I don't know how many. So somebody's going to have to correct me on that, but that's what I heard. Not one of them show themselves. They can call some. Yes, I know. It's just getting into that stuff. That's why I said, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I always keep my mouth shut because I just don't like engaging in the bullying. I don't like calling people out. It doesn't make me feel good to make somebody embarrass somebody or hurt somebody. I'm sorry. I save that conduct for bad guys, right? For people that do terrible things to terrible or to great people. I save that energy for that. I don't want petty problems with stupid creators on here that won't get off their fat asses and get out there and do something, and they rather criticize and steal content from other people for profit. Stealing. Of course. I mean, what do you expect from a bunch of felons? Just saying. So I guess they're good people. I didn't know. It's like funny because it's the new lifestyle, right? Good is bad, bad is good. Good is evil, evil is good. I mean, it just the whole crisscrossing of narratives now is just disgusting. When you can sit there and profit off bullying somebody for over a year and try to take their channel, but somebody that's trying to actually get some information out that doesn't want to engage in bullying, doesn't want to engage in drama, doesn't want to engage in the back and forth, you just target and just force into it. Forced into it. I don't want to engage in it, and yet here I am being forced into something I don't want to do, yet I'm the problem. I can't with these idiots. I really can't. People are like, Betty, you just need to shut up and just stay to the true crime. I've been doing that. It hasn't worked. So now it's coming to the point where we just have to address all this nonsense because they're fucking lying off their ass, and there's nothing else we can do but point it out at this point because people are too fucking stupid to realize they're being duped. That's what's really wrong here. That's what these channels, believe it or not, and it's so sad. That's what these channels, they pity their subs. They actually bank on their ignorance and their lack of education. And that to me is disgusting. I try to educate and teach people. They use the lack of education and the fact that that a lot of the people are not book smart, and they use that to manipulate them. They do. Like this whole thing. Oh, it's the First Amendment. We got a complaint here for First Amendment. No, it's First Amended. It has nothing to do with your First Amendment rights because they have already crossed that line. But they don't want to tell their audience that because it's a money-making scheme. $40,000. And she's got her little cute dog in the front seat of that car. Isn't that nice? How much money was spent on that dog at your expense? Right? Right? Mm-hmm. Truth serum. Truth serum. They don't even know what the hell they're reading in here, but they're telling you what it says. The blind leading the blind. You ever heard that terminology before? There's a reason. There's a reason. Let's get back on track. You guys got enough of me. You guys got your answers. Now, if anybody does not like the answers I provided, that is on you, not on me. If you can't control yourself and move on to this case and you want to keep dragging it back to drama, please leave. I don't want it. We're going to get back on Crystal. We're going to get back on track, but just know that you're being lied to, you're being deceived, and I hope you guys wake up soon. And that's it. And I'm going to say that every single live. And if my mods don't want to come here because I'm driving them nuts saying it, so be it. My subs don't want to come, so be it. So be it. So be it. They just can't stand the fact that they tried to kick me off and we came over here and we're just growing. Hey, that's got to be a slap in their face. That's got to be pretty insulting. Thank you guys. God bless you for that, by the way.
That's right. So from 5:15, and I think I mentioned to you that I see on the video,
guys,
go past Circle K.
All these audios are bad.
You go past
I don't know what's wrong with the audios. We have nothing but bad audios here. I guess we're not going to be able to do it. I'll have to go back and find the audios that we used. Now I remember we had a hard time finding the audios of these the last time, and we ended up finding one. Let me see if I can find a better audio. Hold on. Jeez. Shit. I think there's two of them here. I think this is why I used this one. I think this is the one. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is better. Okay, this is better. Okay, we found it. Sorry about that. All right, this one should be better. Okay. At least I hope it's better. It sounds like it's better.
I just called, trying to get over him before he comes here. He's not coming through his phone yet. So.
No, I think we're just going to have a bad.
All right. I'm going to take a minute here and read through your statement. That's all right.
Yeah, it's just going to be bad audio. I don't have any good audio.
Yeah, you might have answered some of my questions already. So. But I did,
I'm not watching an hour and a half of that. So basically, what it says is that during this interview with Brooks Houck, the detective, he's very cool. He's very calm. If you notice, a good detective doesn't really need, especially if it's not a hostile situation or it's not already combative. Some cases require you to be combative right out the beginning because you're dealing with a hardened criminal, and so you need to do that. In this case, he didn't need. That's not a strategy that he actually needed to. What the audio wasn't bad in the video. Your audio's a little jacked up though. It sounds really high pitched and shrills at time. There's nothing that's from this thing. I've got all of my settings turned down on my card. Like all my settings are like literally turned down. So the shrilling is not coming from anything. I've got literally everything set so I can use my mic volume for stuff. So anyways, whatever. But we have horrible audio, and I don't know what to do about this audio. It's the feed. You can hear the feed coming through this audio, and the more I pitch it up, the more the feed is coming through. It just amplifies it. So there's not really a whole lot I can do. It's believed that Officer Ellis found out something that Nick and Brooks did, and that he was going to say something, so they had to kill him to keep quiet. Interesting. Yeah, that would, I mean, there's something devious here. There's no doubt. I mean, we can all feel it. There's something that's just not right with the Jason Ellis case. But and because he's a police officer, and Nick was a police officer, we have that connection too. This was, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he was the police officer on the same force as Nick. Yeah, there's got to be something here that connects them. But I keep wondering I guess my question would be for the audience. Maybe I need to gauge the audience. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Brooks killed her because she knew information about this Ellis guy? Or do you think that she was killed because she was ready to leave Brooks and was prepared to take her son with her? I mean, to be honest with you, she wasn't married to him and she had a kid. You're talking, and he's a millionaire. So you're talking about a significant financial strain for a cocky guy that has a lot of money that doesn't want to, that thinks that she just got pregnant, so I'd have to pay for the baby. That nonsense. And I'm so sick of hearing that from the guys because you are responsible too. Remember, you got a little dang-a-lang that needs to be wrapped up, right? Wasn't it your responsibility to make sure this didn't happen? So I don't want to hear that from you young bucks out there saying she set me up. Well, if you put something on it, you would have to worry about whether she's setting you up or not. Now, would you? Just saying. Good for the goose, good for the gander. But then there's a point when he gets in here. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's right here. Is this it? You can see a lot of his behaviors throughout this interview when we watched it. He was doing countermeasures. I noticed several times there were countermeasures deployed in his body language where he was holding his hands, to make sure that he wasn't fidgeting too much. You could see him consciously thinking about this. And there was a point even when he was holding his hands and he was getting nervous and his foot started shaking, rocking back and forth like we do, with our little ankles, we just pop. Like I've got flip-flops on, and when I get bored, I just start jiggling my foot back and forth, and my flip-flop just, kind of dangles and twists and whatever. And so I was thinking, that. So he was sitting, but as soon as he noticed himself doing that, I watched him look at his foot and then immediately place his foot down on the ground. That is a countermeasure to me. It showed like there was a nervous twitch with him, and he countered it. Let me see where this one is. I wonder if this is.
Yeah, look at my phone, but I don't remember.
You don't remember getting a phone call on the way home? Mm-hmm. Would it be unusual for you to get a phone call at midnight? I mean, it is for me, and I work for the sheriff's office. I get calls quite.
Actually, where I got the right spot, right where they're talking about Steven Lawson and the timing of their call. So you're going to have to, if it's not coming in well on your end, you are going to have to pitch your volume. I'm going to turn my mic off so there's no feed. But this is the part about Lawson. about Steven Lawson, the most recent arrest?
Some of the people that do the tile for me, I wouldn't put it past them to call me at any time. They lay brick through the day, and then their tile my house is at night. The Thomases I wrote on there, Derek and his brother Tyler Thomas, they'll call me at any time. And I've got to, even if it's just one day, I don't pay them people by the job. They got to get paid by the hour, and then when they get done with it, I pay them.
Right.
That's just what we've agreed on. But yeah, those folks there call me any hour.
It was a pretty short phone conversation is the only reason I asked.
Mhm.
Kind of unusual to get a 13-second phone conversation at midnight. It is for me. It may not be for you. But,
all right. Well, just check it out. Yeah, check it out in detail. That's right.
So Saturday morning, you wake up sometime between 6 and 7. I think we decided that Danny Singleton, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
A guy that works for you, was calling you and called you pretty frequently. You said sometimes you give him incentive to work on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And that may have been why he was calling you. So did you go do some work Saturday morning before you went to your mom's house? Before you went to the farm? Or what did you do Saturday morning?
Get into the conversation about that. Hold on, let me go back to the phone. Here it is. Let me go back to it. I think
I took a piece of PV
up in the truck. It's after 12.
All right. Told to watch out.
There's a time when he picked up his phone, and that's when he calls.
6 or 7 o'clock, and then I left.
Before you went to behavior from that weekend,
Can't seem to find it.
And here's why. I'll be honest with you. I have been all along. Will continue to be. If I woke up
There it is. I think
on a Saturday morning.
Or this is when his brother called. It's one of the two.
Okay, if we put that number in.
Yeah, go right ahead. Do what you gotta do.
Can you guys hear it?
I don't know how to do that. I've got an Apple phone.
Just a second.
So just
I just want to put the number in, right?
or check contacts or however you do it to see who it is. Yeah.
492-1390. Just call it. Oh, Steve Lawson. The field, because this is barbed wire, and then over here is kind of it just daylights out.
Another thing I forgot about too is that he actually when he was asking questions, he would start talking about building and construction and stuff that didn't make any sense he wasn't answering any question that this law enforcement was actually asking him. Hold on a second. Let me find you. Oh, CH, it's nice to see you, love bug. Who has the cute dog in their seat? Let's see. I want to be a mod so I can read and delete messages because I'm nosy and y'all delete too fast. They don't play. My mods don't play. If you're rude, man, you out of here. Like we'll answer any tough questions as long as you're not snarky and you're not a dick. Quit being a Richard. I have a question. I seen someone say you sued the laundries for throwing away the sign. I never heard you say that, so I wanted to ask you. Yes, I sued the laundries. I was paid, and I was paid to basically withdraw my filing. So that's what I did. I must have missed the dog comment. Audio wasn't bad in the video. Your audio is a little jack. Okay, yeah. Well, that's what I've already read from you. Okay. I believe that Officer Ellis found out something about Nick. Okay, so we read that one as well. And here we go. Here I think is Izzy's. It says, Jason left. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any more of yours. Jason left work late that evening, so it had to be someone that knew that in order to ambush him while he was on his way home. Good. Yes, that would be if he left late and somebody knew. That's a person that's very close to that person, especially to know their whereabouts, or somebody that may have worked with him that knew his schedule or could see his schedule, see if it was posted. Like many of us work at companies that post our schedule in the lunchroom. Everybody knows who's going to be on what shift and what have you. Not that was the case, but this is law enforcement. So you have shifts, and Most people have third shift, and they're on third shift or second shift, and they're on second shift or first shift, and they're on first shift. But sometimes people are call out sick, and you've got to move the schedule around. So it could be somebody that wasn't close with him, but they just knew his schedule as well. But the law enforcement believes that this is connected, because they're doing investigations right now. They're digging up properties in Nelson County for one of 3 unsolved homicides in Bardstown. And those 3 are Jason Ellis, Crystal Rogers, and Tommy Ballard. So they obviously think they're all connected. And then when you see Mommy Dearest, I'm sorry, she looks evil. She looks evil. If I'm off base, tell me I'm off base. I mean, she looks like Mafia hit mom. I'm sorry, she does. She does. Crystal knew something. Okay, here it is. So Crystal knew something. The Houck brothers felt threatened, just like Tommy was getting close to answers, and the Houck brothers felt threatened again. Interesting. Yeah, it does feel that way. I can tell you that. Whether we have all the absolute facts in a line that we can, sway a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. That for us doesn't matter, but it definitely looks that way, that anybody that threatens that family, demise, not necessarily personal demise, but the family demise or exposure, it seems like, yeah, they disappear or have an accident. Seems a little odd. Seems a little odd that they're all gun-related violence, something that they have a lot of out in the rural country. Hope my surgery goes well. Yes, Monday comes quick. You'll do great. Jason also did not have his canine the night he was ambushed. Someone knew that as well. Who? Nick, because he worked with the same police department. See, yeah. Yep. So I always go to the source first and make sure I know for myself if it's true or not before calling a person spreading misinformation. Well, I'm glad you're here. Oh, okay, Betty, that's when I climbed in the garbage bin to get out for you to keep that. Yes. That is correct. I was hot mama. I was one hot mama. So yeah, we just, you guys should know me by now. If things, I always make sure that there is some semblance of law. I know people are like, she files frivolous. No, I had standing for that lawsuit. I don't know how to tell you. Like, I had standing to bring that lawsuit. My sign was taken. It wasn't abandoned property. It was on the right of way, but I'm sitting right there. So if I'm sitting right there, it's not abandoned. I had legal standing to bring the argument, okay? It might have been petty, but how many other things go to court that are petty, right? It still didn't take away the fact that I had just cause and good cause to bring that action. But nobody would tell you that because they say, it's $40. Okay, well, the settlement was only $7. So there you have it. Good Lord. Yes, I do. Bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Bullhornbetty@gmail.com. So Izzy got the info. I'm telling you, Izzy's got the grind. I started looking into this case when it was brought to my attention, and that's when I realized that we had Crystal's cousin in our chat at the time. She still comes here, but I don't know if she knows that we're over here on this new channel yet or not, but we are. But we were over there and we were having conversations, and she let me know that that Brooks was finally charged. And I started looking, and I remember hearing about the case in 2015, but it was before I was really invested into true crime. I mean, that was kind of really the kickoff of my political career was in 2015, to be honest with you. So I was focused on politics very heavily in the 2014 to 2016 era. So I wasn't even paying attention, but I did hear this case, and I did have some knowledge of it. And I believe somebody in the chat, even went after all this, had brought it up several different times throughout this or throughout that. But I really didn't get heavily involved in this case until just 2 months ago when her cousin reached out and said, you know, they've made an arrest. And so I looked into it. I'm like, holy crap, this is this case. And I started looking into it because it really had a lot of hallmarks that we were seeing in Alec Murdaugh. I mean, this is a prestigious family. This was a well-known, a very powerful family in the area. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of political influence. They have a lot. You know, there's a lot of, I mean, granted, the historic value of it's really not there. They didn't really do anything historical like the Murdaughs and being the solicitor, you know, of that, the Low Country for, you know, having that position for, you know, 100 years. That's a huge feat, right? So we're not talking apples to apples, but, you know, we kind of are. We're talking Granny Smiths to, you know, Delicious Reds. Okay. Right. But you get my point. You get my point. So, but it does have a lot of the hallmarks, like like I feel like the reason why this wasn't solved sooner was because of who they were. Just like I believe Gloria Satterfield, even the financial crimes of Alec Murdaugh, I believe the reason why those went so long unsolved is because who was committing the crime. I truly believe that. So, you know, you got that. You got that. I accidentally put two subjects in my comment. Oh, surgery. I was wishing. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. I'm glad you are covering it. It has a lot of moving parts. It's hard to keep up. It is because, again, it's kind of like it's going to be one of those complex cases as well, like Alec Murdaugh, because you gotta butt all this stuff in. You know, like with Alec Murdaugh, they were having the murder trial while, you know, even and their motive for the murders was this financial conspiracy, you know? So that was a very complex case that had a lot of moving parts for them to plead their case. Now, this whole thing with Becky Hill, Lord have mercy, I don't even know what. My head's spinning. I don't even know which way is up when it comes to Alec Murdaugh anymore. Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Like, I keep wondering, you know, I think they might have enough meat to the bone for a new trial, and it scares the crap out of me. I have to be honest with you. It scares the living crap out of me. I don't want to be paying for a new trial. I don't think anybody wants to be paying for a new trial. You know, I don't think anybody wants to deal with another trial. But if she did these things, he's due one, and that would really, really burn my grits. Burn my grits. All right, let me just keep looking here because I want to find that spot where he calls Lawson, and I know when he does it because he picks up his phone and makes the call. I want to get that call. So I'm still looking for it. I can't find my notes. I'm sure it's in my backpack somewhere, but there were notes that had all these markings on it because we went through them once before on another live. Come on. Come on. Do it. Do it. Where's the phone? Where's the phone? Where's the phone? Okay, here. I think it's this one.
Or check contacts or however you do it to see who it is. Yeah.
492-1390.
Give me just a second.
Just call it. Oh, Steve Lawson.
Okay. Who's
Steven Lawson.
Steve Lawson?
He's
calling him.
For me. Hey, Steve. Hey, I can't hear you real good. I'm gonna ask you to speak up a little bit, okay?
Okay, sir.
Hey, I was wanting to know. Hey, I've got some things going on next week. I'm gonna need your help with me. Are you already booked up, or can you help me?
I haven't moved up yet. I'm still looking for a place. That's why I needed them numbers from you.
All right. Well, I can write them all down and get them there for you. But I was actually talking about doing some more work with your little skid steer and so forth. Mine's still broke down.
Well, I said, get with me tomorrow. I'm coming. I know you're having a hard time hearing me because it's where I'm located at.
All right.
So just get everything that's going on in your life, brother, and I got you in my prayers.
I said it is a very difficult and trying time, but I appreciate you you saying that. But hey, I need your help while I got you on the phone here. Do you remember the other night you called me really late, and I forgot what you asked me. Can you? I guess we wasn't on the phone. I might have been tired. I know it was pretty late at night. Can you remember what you asked me or what you were after? I can't remember.
Yes, sir, I can. I called to ask you for them numbers for our house.
Oh, for a rental house.
Yes, sir, I did.
And what did I forgot? What did I tell you?
You told me that you would call, what's her name, Katie or whatever, she handles all that.
Crystal,
okay.
So there you have it. I think it's because I got this accompanying thing that's causing the I just realized I still have my my other thing hooked up. I think that's what's causing the problems. Oh, I'm probably really loud. So anyways, that's what he said. You know, he was telling law enforcement that she was with him, and he's telling Steve, and Steve's right there talking talking right then, saying that he needed to get back to him with the numbers, that he needed to call Crystal, that she takes care of all that. So that right there kills his story that he had just told law enforcement that she was with him. Because if she was with him, he wouldn't need to call her to ask her the information. He could have just said, hey, babe, can you give me the numbers for those rental properties? And she'd say, yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone. Let me look them up. So I'm just like, okay. And you know what the worst part about it is that you almost feel like Steve was expecting this call. It seemed like he knew he was going to be getting a call. He probably called him up and said, hey, I'm going to be going down to the police station to give them my statement. If I call you and I need to ask you something, this is what you need to say. It just seems so planned. Even, oh, I'm so sorry that you're going through all this, brother, or whatever he said. I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. Thank you for explaining the tire suit. I never knew it was the laundries that put Gabby's signs in the dumpster. It wasn't. No. So it wasn't. This was a sign that me and a couple other people prepared, put up in there, and I can't remember what it said. It said, like, how do you look at your daughter, Cassie Laundry, or something like that? It was a triggering sign, you know? And so he leaps across the yard and pulls it out and rips it to shreds, a sign that was just put up. So it got under my skin, you know, a little bit, that you can run all over. No, the dumpster video was from the city after my lawsuit with Brian, with Brian's parents, or Chris. It was the county that said, you know what, let's clean this up. But the problem is everybody, the law enforcement in the county, because we had been working with them for weeks, knew my number. They knew we had just put that memorial up, and instead of giving us, saying you guys have until 5 o'clock to take this memorial, what they ended up doing is the city ended up taking all the pieces that they liked that they could use for some other type of program, and threw all the stuff that was all tailored to Gabby in the garbage. So some of my stuff was actually inside the city hall building, while everything related to Gabby was out in the dumpster. So, I mean, there was a few things that went on there with the city of Northport. I was highly pissed off, and recorded myself dumpster diving to salvage the stuff. Like, we had literally just spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars for that memorial for Gabby Petito, and literally within 24 or 48 hours, it was broke down and thrown away. We would have taken it down ourselves because it was our stuff. They didn't give us that opportunity. I think it was I really think it was a deal between Bertolino and the city of Northport to get the laundries to cooperate, and that was part of that deal, was getting that stuff removed immediately versus giving us time to remove it. I don't know, but no, the sign was a green sign that had something on it related to Cassie Laundry, and Chris lost, he went out there and ran across it and found that sign and ripped it to shreds. And I wanted him to pay me for it. And since he wouldn't talk to me, he left me no other choice, and I was paid for the sign. So there you have it. Was it petty? Again, there's a lot of things in courts right now that are petty, but they still had standing, and and they're not meritless claims. So it was not a meritless claim, despite what haters would like you to believe. I did have standing. I did have grounds. And as petty as those grounds may be, it is what it is, So there you have it. True crime with Bullhorn. Yes. They were digging the other day. Then the third arrest happened. They went down really far and wide. Yes, that's what I was hearing. They like I said, they are digging craters. These people covered this up, and they covered this up. But, I always have a problem. Just hear me out. Let me play this tape through for you guys, because this is how I play the tape through for myself. So we have a situation where there's a third person is arrested. First, we had Joseph Lawson that was arrested. I truly believe he was the weakest link. I believe that law enforcement was able to break him first, and that's why they went his route. And I think that he had, when he got charged, he had enough information to get Brooks Houck arrested. And I think it's because he could confirm that Crystal truly, in fact, was deceased. I think that is Joseph's part in this. I think that's why he was first. I think he was arrested first because he was the weakest link. And I think he finally broke down and disclosed that Crystal was deceased, because I believe his original charge was only conspiracy to commit murder or something like that. It obviously wasn't related to the actual murder. It was the conspiracy. So conspiracy to commit murder doesn't necessarily mean anybody died. It's just a conspiracy to commit it. And so he's involved in that way. And I think they had enough evidence for probable cause for that arrest, which made him sing like a bird, which he was able to finally confirm beyond, for law enforcement, that Crystal is truly, in fact, deceased. And so when they were able to determine that she was truly, in fact, deceased, then they had their prime suspect, which has always been Brooks Houck. Now they can charge him with the second-degree murder. And I think somewhere along the way, either Brooke implicated Steve in this out of anger and frustration, maybe vindictiveness because his son turned on him, or something like that. Or it could have been that there was enough information coming from Joseph that after they found some evidence, it did link directly to activity that Steven was doing. We don't know. Did somebody squeal, or is this based upon, shoe leather detective work and following the behaviors of Steven? I don't know. He's the last one that seems to be, well, I don't want to say the last one. He's the last one that was arrested. I believe there's going to be a lot more arrests coming. I believe that this took a network of people to keep it covered and keep it undercover for as long as it did. I believe Mom used as much political power and money and influence as she could to keep this under wraps. I don't know, like the mom, for whatever reason, I was thinking about this. I get up very early in the morning, and so I read a lot in the mornings, especially in the mornings. I read a lot. And so I was really trying to, think this thing through, with Mommy Dearest, because I just get a bad vibe from her. I really do. And like I said, I feel like she's one of those people that deals with everything in person. She doesn't want paper records unless she wants the paper record. But for stuff, I think that she deals with everything in person. So there's no recordings, no emails. I think over, the older people are easier to have like that because they've never had the electronics, and dealing with everything in person has always been the way that they do the business. Well, nowadays it's the best way to do the business if you want to have privacy. But there's just something about the mother that I feel like she had her hands all in all of this. But she's going to be the one that is completely immune from any prosecution. And I think it has to do with her political pressure and her influence that she has in that community. Not that they're corrupt in the sense that they can't arrest her, just in the sense that she's got enough money that if they can't bring the charge and take it home, there's no point in even putting the cuffs on her, because it's going to turn into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for that community. They need to either go big or go home. And if they do not have the proper probable cause and they don't believe that they're going to be able to send her to jail or to convict her, they might as well not even bring her into it, because she will sue the piss out of them. And believe me, she will. She seems like a very nasty lady, but she seems like a very astute businesswoman. I'm sorry, she does. That's why my personality, that's what I see in her. But she's got some explaining to do. And I think she's got her hands all in this. And I think her mother had her hands all in this too, because her mother was on the grand jury saying she pleads the fifth. Grandma on a grand jury pleading the fifth. This was a whole entire family affair. Everybody in that family knew. Everybody. I believe Nick is going to be the next person arrested. I think that Nick as well as Brooks, they're going to do everything they can to protect their mother. I don't foresee, God willing, that lady, if she had her hand in this, she needs to be in jail right along with her kids. But for whatever reason, I don't know why I have it in the pit of my stomach. I had this in the pit of my stomach about the Laundries as well, that no matter what crimes that they had committed, they were not going to be charged legally for their crimes. And that's kind of how I feel about Mother Dearest. I don't think she's going to be held accountable for her crimes and helping her children cover up theirs. And I'm just getting so sick and tired of it. It's almost like I almost want to start, like we got somebody, I want to think about the kids, but it's like, meaningful legislation. I might be able to get something done, with this. This might actually be easier to push through than our children, which sounds crazy, right? But I truly believe that we need to start holding parents accountable that want to engage in criminal activity to help protect their children. They have crimes against that right now, but unless they're enforceable or enforced, the parents are going to keep being able to help their children do despicable things and try to get away with it with no repercussions. And I'm sorry, I just don't think that that's fair. I don't think that that's fair, because there are some people in some states and some communities that believe in law and order, and the parents that stick their neck out and put themselves in legal jeopardy have to answer for those crimes. But then you have other states that give them the free pass. And I have to be honest with you, Brian Laundrie's parents, the Gabby Petito case here in my own state, the parents, in my opinion, should have been charged with obstruction. When we heard that, and we now know that they knew 2 weeks before he came home, and we hear Christopher Laundrie's out there cleaning that van. Don't tell me they were not tampering with evidence or obstructing justice. Don't tell me that. I had it right then. I have it right now. Those parents should have been in jail, just like I said they should. Just like I said they should. And in Mother Dearest, I feel the same way. I don't have this with Mommy Dearest. I don't have any corroborated evidence. It's just a gut. It's a hunch. Okay. With Brian Laundrie's family, on the other hand, we had facts. We had absolute corroborated facts that led us to those conclusions. Okay, guys, I know that you're just now hearing about them now, but there's a reason why, in 2021, September 2021, we're out there with bullhorns screaming, what lawyer did he go to? How long did you know about this? There's a reason why we knew that way back then, because we did the work to find out. We knew all this. Now that this stuff is kind of breaking in the courts, the reason why it's like, you're like, well, Betty, this is breaking. We knew that. We told our audience that 2 years ago. If you guys want to go back, I was on TikTok at the time. Go back and check it out. I put a lot of my protesting on there. My protesting was covered all over the world. You can see the stuff that we said out there in front of that. Now we're showing how smart, how much work we put into that case, and how we were able to uncover all this information. All this stuff we uncovered, it's being used right now in court. So there is that. It was a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work to do the work that I do. I know people criticize it a lot, but I don't see anybody else doing it, right? I don't see anybody else doing it. I'll go to your front door. You do despicable things to kids or people, I'll go to your front door. People don't like that. Okay, so sue me. You can't, because it's lawful and legal. So that's what I do. That's my business design, and I will continue to do it because I think it's the right thing to do. I don't do things because it's the easy thing to do. I do it because it's the right thing to do, and I truly believe that was right. It was.
I apologize.
Yeah.
And she said she handles all that, and that you would get back with me on it.
All right.
I tell you, people that you expect to take care of you, you trust all these people. It's the people that you trust that are the closest to you that do you the most damage. It truly is. It truly is. And this is no different. And I'd like to know why. I truly would like to know why. I have thought that maybe Brooke's sister finally got a conscience and started spilling out info. It's possible. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. Sister would be just as deluded as the family. It's hard to break away, and even if you do break away, it's hard to, I don't know. It's still hard to come out and talk about them. When we think about it, you're talking about your two brothers and potentially your mother. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, right now, both of her brothers are being implicated in crimes. Both of them implicated in murders. And you got to think what kind of household they must have had. It's just like a Leilani Simon situation, and her brother, what was his name? Quentin too? Jesus. Sorry. You got to look at their case, what their life was horrible. And BJ was able to raise two murderers. Well, so is this lady. And I'm sorry, but for boys to turn out like that, they have to be pretty effed up. They've had to have a pretty messed up childhood. They've had to have a lot of abuse that nobody knows about. They've had to have a lot of mental and emotional and verbal abuse. These things just, you just don't think about it. We've all had our own problems, but it hasn't been so sadistic that we can pick up a gun and take another human being's life. These people can. Trust me, their household was not savory. They may have a lot of money. They may have a lot of money, and they may have a lot of power, and they may have a lot of prestige. I get it. But I can tell you, their household is not one that I would ever change. My messed up life didn't produce me to be a murderer, right? Theirs did. Two boys right now. Her two sons, her only two sons, both of them. One's in jail right now for murder. The other one's almost there. It's hard. It's gotta be hard. All right, guys. Well, that's really all I have on the Houck case. Let me just go through here. There's some other stuff. Hold on. There were some comments here. So one of the Reddit posts on this case says Brooke Houck's 7/8/2015 interview received a call from Steve Lawson on the night Crystal disappeared. We heard that. It said this is this is very interesting that Brooks had to explain why his phone records details are very late phone calls from a number registered to Steve Lawson on the night of Crystal's disappearance. Initially, he can't recall what the number was, phone call was about. I find that suspect. How do you not know? Like, even on here, I have iMessage on this this MacBook Pro, but for whatever reason, I've got the settings messed up just slightly where my contacts on my phone don't relay to the messages on here. So when I'm on live and people are sending me messages through my phone and it pops up in a little banner at the top, it shows a phone number. It doesn't show the person's name. So when I look up there, the one I always forget is It's Me Jen, and it's The Real Me Too. Their numbers look almost similar, but they're not. The area codes are totally different. I don't know why I confuse them, but I always confuse them. For whatever reason, every time they send me a message, I can never tell on this computer whether it comes from it's The Real Me Too or It's Me Jen. So but everybody else that pops up here with just a number, I'm like, oh, that has to be this person, or oh, that has to be that person. So hearing him in this interrogation acting like stupid, like, I don't know whose number that is. That number doesn't look familiar. Like, even I don't know everybody's number. I don't remember like I used to, because we rely on phones and our contacts in our phones now, as opposed to us having to use our memory to call people, right? So I just find it the behavior a little odd that he didn't recognize the number. And maybe some people are like, I don't really recognize. Maybe it's a detail that doesn't really make heads or tails. It doesn't make any difference. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I just found it odd. Brooks had so much money that he stole shingles from Lowe's. Oh, geez. My point in saying that is Lowe's is that he is just a crap person, right? Because he has millions of dollars and yet he still wants to steal from because at the end of the day, who pays for the theft? The public. That store doesn't pay for the theft. That store's not taking a loss. If that store takes a loss, we're eating that loss the next year. I promise you that. I'm not good at remembering numbers. I got my credit card number, my driver's license number, my social security number. I've got literally every single number. I remember. I don't know. It's a sickening. It's a sickening thing for me. I can remember numbers. But I can't remember new phone numbers anymore. I think it's maybe stuff that I remember, but I don't know because I just got a new credit card and I've already memorized that credit card number. Like I can order stuff online now without even pulling it out of my wallet. So I don't know. I like my memory. Sometimes it fails on me, but sometimes it's well, I'm glad I asked. I wasn't on YouTube yet. When you guys were outside Brian Parent's house, home. Now, if I had asked, I would have had the entire story wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So that's really it. It's, people are going to be talking smack and they're going to be misguiding people because let's face it, we're in a lawsuit and right now they're on a smear campaign. It's all strategy. It's all trial strategy and they're using the public for it. And I'm just getting sick and tired of it because it's all lies. I mean, that's exactly what we're in. If you could just go back to my documents and actually read them, like mute the people that are even trying to explain these documents that have no earthly idea what they're talking about and no lawful education to even backdoor to say, oh, I used to work in a law office, just to even try to have a semblance of understanding. They're idiots. And it was so blatant of how stupid and how I can just prove to you these people don't know what they're talking about when they said, oh, she made a mistake. Look at this. She said it was supposed to be First Amendment and she said First Amended. That was when I'm like, these people are about as stupid as a 10-pound bag of freaking sugar. Or in this case, a loaf of white bread. Just saying, idiots. And that she had nothing. She literally knows nothing. I've been watching her commentary on this case and I laugh because it's so comical that she literally knows nothing about it. But, nobody's going to believe me, right? Nobody's going to believe me because everybody believes white bread, right? They believe white bread. That's, I'm a racist for calling her white, which she's white. She's not, she may identify as that, indigenous or whatever, and she may have some in it. We all do, right? We all do in a sense. But she's a white bread. She's a Karen. And when I called her out for it, she called me a racist for exposing that she has been lying to her audience for 2 years, right? It's insane. It's insane. Actually, she's been lying to them for a heck of a lot longer than that. But either way, she's on there talking about this case and it was just nobody believed me because she's got everybody so stoned and so convinced she is the beacon of truth and she researches everything. No, she doesn't. And she lies through her teeth. And then she tries to act smart even when she's so freaking wildly stupid. And then she doubles and triples downs on this First Amendment motion to dismiss First Amendment complaint. No, it's the First Amended complaint. You want to know why it's called the First Amended complaint? Since you're too stupid to do your own research to find out. They call it that because he actually filed the first counterclaims. So now he's not allowed to file it as just counterclaims. Now he has to change his title to First Amended counterclaims. Why? Because it's an amended counterclaim, dumbass. Like,
idiots. Like, what did I do? Hold on. Where am I?
Original. There we go. Am I back? I accidentally my thing went to something. It sounded like I was a monster. Hopefully I'm not a monster. But that's why these people, and to think about how many hours she's gone through all this, advising her, providing legal advice, by the way, which is against the law, to her audience, saying that this is what this means. No, it's not. Everything she has read to you guys and advised you guys has been wholly and 100% wrong. And you know what? If she really wanted to get it right, she could just have her attorney friend come up there and explain it to her. But I have a funny feeling that attorney friend's not really an attorney, because I've heard some of the comments they made, and I clearly can prove that I've been in the law for many years. And I can tell you that attorney that she leans on so much has said some things that I know for a fact no law school would ever teach, because it's wrong. And any licensed attorney would have known that. That's how I know she's lying to her audience and manipulating them. Ask questions, folks. Ask questions. We're on that truth serum chain and train as we start bringing people out of their butts. When you hear, right, the pop, that's when your head just popped out of your behind. So hopefully we get more. For the ones that got their head popped out of their butt, welcome to the Bullhorn Betty channel, where we choose love over hate. So if that's the mission you want, if you want to do good because it makes you feel good, this is the place you want to be. If you want hate and you want to fill your life with gunk, stress, and no sleep, go be their bitch. Go be their bitch. I can tell you, we don't make people our bitches over here. You know what we make them? We make them crusaders. Crusaders doing good all over this country, and we can never be happier about the impact that we provide everywhere we go. And that's something the haters can't take away. All right, so before we leave, I'm going to go ahead and play Crystal's story one more time as we lead out of our outro. I just like this video. It's well put together. I think it helps explain a lot for you folks, and I just killed it by accident. Hold on, put it back up. It bounces all over the place. There we go. Let's put it in. All right, guys, you guys have an amazing day. God bless you. Don't forget, church has started 15 minutes earlier for those that go to church with us. Tomorrow at Countryside Christian Church, 9:15. I am not driving, so I will be paying attention to which one of you guys are in that room. I'm just joking. In that room. Hey, Tattooed. Nice to see you, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well. We're going out. But here's Crystal Rogers' case, and God bless you guys. See you tomorrow morning at church.
Crystal Rogers is a mother of 5 beautiful kids that went missing on the July 4th weekend in 2015. Her boyfriend, Brooks Houck, came under heavy scrutiny about her disappearance back in 2015, but for whatever reason, the case went cold. Well, this particular case just heated up most recently in September with the very first arrest of a gentleman by the name of Joseph Lawson. This is an employee of Brooks Houck. Brooks Houck was later arrested after Joseph Lawson, and the case kind of died out. There was some major shocks in the case when the state prosecutor, Brooks Houck's bail hearing, tells the judge that his brother, Nick, might have been the one that shot Crystal's father, Tommy Ballard. If you're unfamiliar with this case, Crystal is a beautiful young lady that disappeared in 2015, and her father went out looking for her and searching and was probably finding evidence about what happened to his daughter. Well, during a hunting, what many thought was a hunting accident on Tommy Ballard's property, he was shot to death. And apparently during this bail hearing for Brooks Houck, it was alleged that his brother, Nick, may have killed Crystal's father.
Today in court, Prosecutors said they believe they have the gun used to kill Tommy Ballard now, connecting the investigation with the death of his daughter, Crystal Rogers.
Waiting for testing to come back on the firearm we believe was used to murder Tommy Ballard, a firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle.
This case has a lot of twists and turns, and that's not it. In 2013, an officer was ambushed. His name is Jason Ellis. And people are starting to feel that this Jason Ellis is connected to this particular case with Crystal Rogers and Brooks Houck. So now we have 3 people arrested in connection with the death of Crystal Rogers, although her body has not yet been found.
A third person is indicted in connection to the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. Steven Lawson was just indicted on conspiracy to commit murder. Joseph Lawson was also indicted earlier this year on conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence charges. Then Brooks Houck was indicted on murder. Rogers went missing in 2015, but her body has never been found.
Joseph was first arrested in the case earlier this year. Right now, Steve Lawson is in jail in Harrison County, Indiana. He'll be extradited back to Nelson County for his arraignment later this month.
Pieces falling into place 8 years after the disappearance of Crystal Rogers, the mother of 5 from Bardstown, last seen alive 4th of July weekend 2015. Now, 3 men have been linked to her death, believed to have happened that very same weekend. Joseph Lawson was the first arrest. Brooks Houck was second. Now Steve Lawson marks the third, a name not new to the investigation. In fact, it was first mentioned just months after Rogers was reported missing inside the Nelson County Sheriff's interrogation room.
Police arresting Steve Lawson today. The Nelson County grand jury indicting Lawson on 2 charges: conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
Adding to the whirlwind few months it's been in the unsolved Crystal Rogers case.
But everyone is excited. This has been a long time coming.
Police say they can now tie a third person to her 2015 disappearance, charging this man, Steven Lawson, with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
Like everybody, we just want justice for the Ballards and for people to pay for the crimes that they did.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.